Now, let's do an example of merging in which we have a conflict. As we saw before, conflicts arise when Git cannot decide what to do with the changes in our code. So for example, if we have made changes in different branches to the same line of code of the same file, then we're going to get a conflict. Let's see an example of that. I'll say git switch -c create conflict example, and now let's go to our master branch file, and then let me say here, this modification was made from the conflict example branch. Alright, so this is line 7, right? So save, let's come here, git commit -am modifies text file, enter. Alright, so now let's go back to the master branch, git switch master, and of course we're going to come here and go to the same line 7 and say this modification was made from the master branch. So again, same line 7, save, let's come back here and let's commit this. So let me say here git commit -am modifies, I'll say the text file, just to have a different message than this one. Alright, enter. Okay, so we have two branches that made a modification to the same line of the same file. Let's try to merge. So git merge conflict example. As expected, we have a merging problem. We have a merge conflict. As you can see here, it says merge conflict in master branch txt, and it says that we are in a merging state. So let's come here and let's see that just like in a previous example, we have head. This is what we have in head, and this is what we have in the conflict example branch. This is the text from that branch, and Git cannot decide what to do automatically in this scenario. So we have to do that by hand. Now, if by some reason you want to abort the mission, you can say git merge --abort, and then we basically reverted this git merge conflict example command. And we have here, this modification was made from the master branch, and in the conflict example branch, we have the other text. Now, let's say that indeed we want to move forward with this merge. So let's go back here and let's say git merge conflict example. We have the same merging state and we have the same content here. Remember that we can open this with Visual Studio Code. I can say here code dot to open what's in the current directory in Visual Studio Code. And in here, we're going to see that we have the master branch that should be red. Now it is red. Click on here. And as you can see, we have this. We have seen this in the past. If we say accept current change, this is going to leave the master branch version. If I say accept incoming change, we're going to have the complete example version. And if I say accept both changes, we're going to have both. Something that I can do is to say here this. I want to say this. And this is something that I can do by hand, but that can be done automatically. So save, close here. Now let me do a git add dot git commit, and let me say here merges conflict example, enter. And as you can see, now we are not in the merging state anymore, and we have here this modification was made from the master and conflict example branch. And of course, if we say git log, enter, you are going to see that in here we have merges conflict example, modifies the text file, and modifies txt file. Excellent. And by the way, if you see this is a pager that we have here. If you want to leave the pager, just write Q, and that's it. Now I can continue writing commands here.